Hey guys, it's Wednesday. So, not much has been happening. We had this past weekend a play reading festival, a New Works Now was what it was called. And they read through 3 new works on stage. That was my week last week, setting up for that, which kind of screwed us over for the rest of the season in terms of what I kind of wanted to do and get accomplished that week, but I can't anymore. But it was interesting to watch, and I didn't really have a choice to work on it or not, despite the fact that they asked me if I could. There really was no choice, and it's not something that it's not something that's in our contract. It's not something that I'm necessarily getting paid extra for, because they're not allowed to charge for the shows because of equity rules, because they have equity actors and they're paying them an equity rate, but it's not an equity approved show, so they can't charge. And they're technically not supposed to solicit donations, apparently, but they did, which is good news for me because they made enough to cover the cost of the actors, with enough left to pay me for it, so that was good. But I got to sit through three new shows. One of them I loved a lot. It was called Mad Love. It was by Marisa. I think I have everything here. Maybe not. Whatever. Marisa, she's a playwright from New Hampshire. It was really interesting, really good. And the closing show was Orwell in America by Joe Sutton, who teaches at Dartmouth over here in New Hampshire. It was interesting. It was long. By that point I wasn't really paying attention. But it was interesting. It's about George Orwell and a fictional trip, a fictional American book tour. So that was interesting. And the third one, which leads into the worst show topic, was called The Reluctant Lesbian. That's hard to say. The Reluctant Lesbian. It sounds interesting. Probably one of the worst things I've seen. And I realized it's a staged reading that had nothing to do with it. The script was awful, in my opinion. There were parts about it, and it could be certainly developed more. But this isn't the first time it's been workshopped and read. It's been being worked on for 2 years. It's gone to the New York Fringe, apparently. It's not a good show. I don't like it. I don't remember. I see the program on the floor, but I'm not gonna go through that to get it. That's probably one of the worst shows I've heard, seen. A couple of the others, 5 women wearing the same dress, which I designed lights for in college. It's the first show I designed. It was in the student-run theater. Really not a good show. It's interesting, but it's 5 women sitting around talking about their problems, which is the same as probably 9 of the 12 shows that I did or saw in that space over my 3 years. 9 of the 12 shows were women sitting around talking about their problems, because it's their student-run space at a women's college. It has to be mostly women's shows, and there aren't that many good ones out there. So that, I can't remember. There's one that's a baby shower that's essentially the same thing. Not a good show. Top Girls, which is interesting. It's a really weird show. Really weird. Not necessarily, I guess I wouldn't call it bad. I just don't understand it. And I'd love to see it done again, I think. Because it's a rough show to think through. But yeah, that's mine. I'm just rambling at this point. Sorry it's late. Well, I mean, it's still Wednesday, but it's really late. Wednesday. Almost Thursday for me. That, I think, is it. Next week, I will have 2 cats in the house, which will be fun. But I get my my baby back for the first time, and that'll. No, that's not. I've made videos with her before, but I get my baby back, and her and Poppy will be in the same house for 2.5 weeks, which will be interesting because my cat hates other cats, and it'll be interesting. I can't take Poppy back for 2.5 weeks because the shelter doesn't have space, and I don't want to overload them. Yeah, that's my news. I'm still talking. Why? Oh, that's it. Mark, we will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.